This video is brought to you by NordVPN. Get 75% off via the link below. Today we'll be taking a look at another classic game from the developers at Rare. Spiritual successor to GoldenEye 007, Perfect Dark was yet another hit game from Rare during the 90s. The FPS sees you control protagonist Joanna Dark, a special agent, as she sets out to stop an extraterrestrial conspiracy. Like a lot of other Rare titles from around this time, the game had some interesting changes made for the Japanese market, which is what this video will be taking a look at. Firstly, one interesting aspect to point out is Nintendo's original marketing plans for releasing the game in Japan. As you can see in the Japanese box art, the cover uses a stylish red and black colour scheme. This same colour scheme was used in many aspects of the game's marketing, but in fact, Nintendo was actually also considering releasing the game in Japan with a new name, this being none other than Red and Black. This was due to them feeling that perhaps Perfect Dark didn't translate very well into Japanese, but ultimately the English name of Perfect Dark was used, but the whole red and black colour concept was still kept in various places. The sequence when booting up the game in the Japanese version has the N64 logo turn into a red and black PD logo, for instance, whereas in the West this is blue and grey. Then the title screen received a drastic redesign over in Japan, as shown in this comparison. Aside from this, the game also received some other curious changes to try to better appeal more to the Japanese market. For instance, the game is slightly easier in the Japanese version, with there being shields added to many missions on Perfect Agent difficulty. These sorts of difficulty changes have been seen in many other games from around this time, and this is normally explained as feeling that Japanese gamers weren't as well accustomed to 3D games such as this at the time. Another change made to the game was carried forward from Rare's earlier GoldenEye 007. In the Japanese version, the knife weapon is completely removed from the game, which was a change that was also made to GoldenEye. Sensor Gaming contacted Martin Hollis about this back in 2016, who was the director for both of the games, and he explains that this was due to the controversial Kobe child murders that had occurred during Japan around the time, and so knives were a very sensitive issue. The knife wasn't the only aspect of violence toned down for Japan though. In the Japanese version of the game, the gameplay's blood was drastically reduced and bodies now fade away much quicker, which results in an overall much less violent experience for the Japanese release. One of the most notable changes made in Japan though was the complete redesign of Joanna's face. In Japan she was made to look very different, with the majority of her facial features being changed, such as her face being much less round and different eyes, hair and lips. Again, this was possibly an attempt at better appealing to Japanese tastes, and this is something that has been seen in many other games. One notable example is the Japanese versions of Crash Bandicoot, for example, who was made to look much less aggressive in a lot of Japanese marketing, and also some parts of the games, with this being explained to be due to Japanese differences in preferences. Which design for Joanna do you prefer, the one used in the West or in Japan? And what do you think about the other changes made to Perfect Dark over in Japan? As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comments below and consider subscribing to see more videos on how media is changed around the world. Until next time, thank you for watching.